In our first lesson with Adobe Spark, we're just going to build a collage. We're going to make it pretty simple and pretty quick. And there is a handout, a help page that I have put together, and it'll be posted on Google Classroom. And it kind of takes you through the different parts of what you've got to do. Here are requirements. Right here, you're going to have to build in at least 4 photos into your collage. Going to have some text on the collage. And you're always working to make something look halfway decent, right? That's what we always do. I'm going to use the idea of creating a mood board. And a mood board can express your current mood or just try to express a feeling like, a very colorful set of pictures would express a mood of some energy or happiness or something like that, where you could also have a mood board that would be more gray and gloomy, where the pictures are all of different color, of more darker colors and things like that. So you can make mood boards just about any way you want. You'll see one that I'm going to put together in this movie. So there are requirements listed here for you. A little information on how to get started, which I'm about to show you. A little information on building the collage, although that's really going to rely a lot on you digging in and just experimenting and playing. I can't make a handout that has everything documented, and I also can't really demonstrate everything that they have to offer on Adobe Spark. So you'll have to play a little bit and make it look the way you want. Got some instructions here about finishing up, how to save your work and submit it and all those good things. You can do this on your Chromebook. I've done them on Chromebook. It'll work fine. It might be, if you have a mouse that you can connect to your Chromebook, that might be good. But you can do it by using a stylus or the touchpad or whatever. You can manage it even if you're just doing it with your Chromebook. Actually, I'm not recording this movie on a Chromebook, but I've done these on a Chromebook. So anyway, let's go. I'm in Chrome. I'm going to open a new account here. Now, you want to make sure, if you're on your Chromebook, you're going to be fine. But if you're using some other computer and you're using Google Chrome, you're going to want to make sure you're signed in to your redpride.net Google account, because I'll show you why. We're going to go to spark.adobe.com, and I'll link that up on Google Classroom. So I'm just going to go to that address, and here's what the landing page looks like when you get there. Top right hand side, you will see a sign in link. So you'll click sign in, and it's going to look like this. Now here's what you ought to do. It would probably work just to hit continue with Google, but just to make sure, I'm going to do this. Over on the right hand side, teacher or student, log in with school account. Let's do that. So I'm going to click on that button right there. And then this looks fairly familiar. This is kind of like our Creative Cloud sign-in that we have at school. So we're just going to continue with Google here. And that's why it's important to be signed in with your redpride.net account. So you can just do continue with Google. And you are there. All right, I'm in. I've already done some projects with Spark, and you can do a lot of different kinds of things. And as we go through this series of lessons, we're going to do some different kinds of things. But we'll just start kind of simple today. All right, so to begin with, I'm on what's called the home area, the home page right here. Over here on the very left-hand side, there's some navigation buttons for home and projects and brands and libraries. Don't have to worry about too much over there right now. I'm just going to be on the home page right now. What we're going to do here today is we're just going to do a collage. All right, so let's stop there first. We'll just click there. And it's going to come up with an option for you to choose photos. And what I'm going to recommend you do, I guess you could choose the photos that you want to use in your collage here, but I'm just going to go ahead and skip that. I'm going to click skip. All right, now the next thing that we run into is this, select a size. Now the first thing you ought to look at is the series of links that they have right through here in the middle that go popular, social post, print, social profile, standard, custom. What you're seeing down here are some popular sizes that people tend to use. But you can click social post and you'll get some different, see what you get, different sizes there. And print, you get different sizes there. And social profile and standard and custom and Well, and custom would be where you can set your width and your height yourself. So I'm not really going to care what you pick on here. On the select a size part, I'll show you what I'm going to do, but you could do something different. You don't have to do it just like me. I'm going to social post, and I'm going to use the Instagram story. All right, so it has dimensions is really all it is. You could use any of these that you want, or you could use any of these that you want. But I'm going to use Instagram story. So I'll go ahead and click that, and I'll select it, and I'll click next right here. A little load up time here, and we have arrived. Now, because I skipped the whole picking of pictures things, there's nothing on the page, and that's kind of the way I wanted it, especially on this demo. So I'm not going to use, way over here on the right hand side, you'll see this is kind of the menu area where you can add different elements. There are some templates you can use. There's a design section, which is what we're seeing right now, all these different designs. There's a colors section, a layout section, a resize, animation, and libraries. I'm not going to use all of that. I'll show you how I'm going to piece this together. I'm going to head to layout here first of all. And if you just scroll this menu on the layout, you'll see that this is for, it's what it sounds like. It's for layouts of pictures. You're going to make a collage. And so this has a layout of just, different, you can put the pictures in these different cells that they have here. So you can kind of browse through there. And remember, I have asked for something that has at least four pictures in it. So make sure that you work that into it, okay? Do that for me. I'm going to go with this one right here. This has 5. I think I'm okay with that. So I'm going to use this layout right here, and I'll go ahead and click it. Now, because I picked the layout first, all it's done here is just it's just filled the layout cells with some colors. All right, so you could go to colors right here, and you'll get, if you go, after you do layout, if you go to colors, it comes up with all these different color settings that you could choose from if you want to. And I am wanting something kind of fallish with a lot of red and oranges and things like that. And I don't mind a little bit of green in there. So I'm going to go with this set right here that I'm pointing to right now. I'm going to use this set of colors. So a slight adjustment has occurred over there on the layout. Okay, so I've got my layout picked out and I've got my colors picked out. All right, well now it's time to start adding some items. Now the first thing I'm really just going to concentrate on is adding the pictures. So I'll come up here to the add button on the top right hand side, and I click that button. I get a flyout menu that gives me the opportunity to add text, photos. You can add icons. Logos I wouldn't worry about too much right now, but I'm just going to do some photos. Now I want to show you the options that you have here. You can, if you have already been out on Google. In fact, I'll even show you. Mine's going to be about pie. I'm in a pie mood. My mood board is going to be about pie. I love pie. Cherry pie, apple pie, strawberry pie, just about any kind of pie. All right. And I've already saved some pictures. So you could just go this route. If you go out and you save your pictures, you could just do upload photo, and then you just go browse and find your pictures. I think mine are sitting in my downloads folder, and then you can probably see it here that I have my lemon meringue and my cherry and my, so I'll just get cherry pie. And then when you upload a picture, you get this option here, pin to background or move freely. Well, pin to background is going to stick it in one of those cells on your layout is what it's going to do. Move freely is going to allow you to drag it around and size it and kind of put it wherever you want. So you can really do that either way you want to. I'm going to say pin to background. Got to give it a second here. And so you see what happened in this cell right here of my layout, that picture of the cherry pie is there. Now I have some options. Once that's over there, if you look over on the right hand side, I can still switch that to a move freely option. I could, if I decide I don't want that, I could replace the picture with something else. I can scale the picture if I think I just really want to center in on where that pie is sliced. I could scale it a little bit, and I can even move it. I can just grab it and drag it around and move it to get it kind of in there the way I want. All right. Now, another thing you can do, I'm going to go back to Add Photo. I'll click the Add button and Add Photo. You might see these buttons over here that say things like Connect to Dropbox, Connect to Google Photos, Connect to Google Drive. Now, this could be a possibility for you here. If you have pictures saved on your Google Drive, you could click that button, and it's going to make you, okay, who are you, right? It's going to make you pick your account, and then it's going to ask you to confirm some choices. All right, is it okay if Adobe Spark looks at your photos? Yes, you can allow that. And it might come up with a couple of other like permission-y kinds of things that you have to allow. But now when you go to Add and you go to Photo and you go to Google Drive, you would have the option. This is now going to show you things that are on your Google Drive. All right. So that's a possibility. You could do it that way. Any way it works for you is fine. So real fast, I'm just going to go here. Like I'm going to click this next cell that's on my layout that I have here, and I'm going to say, I'm just going to throw in my pictures real quick. I'm going to do Add Photo. I've got them all saved in my Downloads folder, so I'll stick in the apple pie here. Let's open that, and I'm going to add it to the collage. Give it a second. Okay, so there's my apple pie. I'll move that over a little bit. I want to be able to see the apples. I'll click this kind of yellow cell that's in the middle, and I'm going to go to the Add button. And I can change the, you can change the colors. I'll show you why the colors can make a bit of a difference here in a second. I'm going to go up to the Add, and I'll do Add Photo, and I'm going to upload. Let's just do these quick here. Let's get the strawberry pie, and I'll open that, and I'm going to add to collage. Give it a second. All right, there's my strawberry pie. I'll pull that up a little bit. Go down on, I'm just going to select this green this green cell here, and I'm going to do Add Photo. What have I got? Cherry, strawberry, apple so far. So I'm going to upload, and I'll do my chocolate silk, and I'm going to add to collage. And be free to arrange it however you want. You don't have to do it just like me. Get creative. All right, what do I need here? I haven't done lemon meringue, so I'm going to add my lemon meringue, and I'll add to collage. All right, so all of my pies are in place, and I can, like I said, I can click on them and drag them around so that they're kind of in there the way I want. It is possible to scale and rotate and flip, and there's a number of things that you can do. And you also have that option to say, I want it to be a freely moving object, which I can size and move around. And then if you do move freely, you get some options to crop the image as well. Now, if I ever want to clear off this menu that I have showing here, right? This is I've got a menu there that showed up when I put that picture in. I can just click in the empty work area, and that just kind of clears that menu off, and I'm back over here. Now let me show you something that you can do with resize here. Actually, no, I'm sorry, that's not what I want. I'm going to go to Layout, and I'm going to go back to Layout, and Border and Cell here. They are locked together right now. There's a little padlock icon. They are locked together. And if I slide this, look what it's doing. All right, there we go. See how it is? I've added a bit of a border around all of the pictures, and the cell size. When I did that, the cell size changed as well. So the cells are resizing as I've added. It's kind of like it's kind of like a buffer. It's kind of like some padding. I don't know if you've ever done HTML or CSS, but it's kind of like padding. And if I wanted to, I could change the background color. If I go back to my color palette here, and maybe I want to go with a green, maybe a green background. Well, it's not giving me the green. That's all right. I can shuffle it. Right, but I can play around with colors over here for the background color until I'm kind of happy with what I've got. I kind of like that burgundy that I've come up with right there. That looks pretty good. Pretty happy with that. All right, now the only other thing that we really have kind of got to do here is got to add some text. I want some text on here. And And so I'm going to go up to the Add button, and I'm going to click the Text button here. And you can add your own, and what that does is just kind of give you a free text box that you can work with. You can choose a font, and you can type what you want. You can certainly do that. You can add your own text. It's start from scratch, add your text, and you can do that if you wish. Or if you would like, you can play around with some of these these are kind of like presets that they have for you over on the right-hand side when you go to add text. I kind of like this honeycomb thing, so I'm going to click that, and it's going to come up and say Good Morning Sunshine. I don't want it to say Good Morning Sunshine. That's not what I'm after at all. So I'm going to double click on it. If you just come over and double click on it. If you just double click on it. There we go. Finally got it. It's showing me, okay, so this is how this is set up. Good Morning Sunshine. I don't want it to say that, so I'm going to get in here and say pie forever. That's what I want mine to say. All right. I'll hit done. And now, you know what? I might double click on that again because I feel like I might like that to be on two separate lines. I'll click done there. That's better. And when you're working with these text situations here, you can move those around, and you can change the font family over here on the right-hand side. There's alignment things, there's sizing things. I could make it bigger or smaller, and I could play with the opacity. There's options for you here to play around with. There are other things when you're working with text. I have this text thing here. If you'll look over on the right-hand side, I have it selected. And I can change things like I can play around with the color settings here. See that? I went to this color marker over here on the menu, and I selected a different little color combination that's just for the text itself. All right, so you see you've got options there. You could change the shape. If I decided, well, I don't really like the hexagons, I could switch it to some other shape, or there's an option up here at the top. If I scroll this up, it doesn't have to have a shape. You can take the shape off of it. I kind of like the hexagon, so I'm going to stay with it. But you can change the shape. You can add some effects, which are things like cutout and shadows, and you can play around with those. I'm not going to demonstrate all those. You can play around with them. You could try out things like style. I don't know what you're going to find there. I don't see much, but you can try it out. All right, so I'm going to click in the empty work area here, just in the empty area, and really, I've kind of wrapped this up. This is done. I've made my collage. I have 5 pictures of pie. It's a mood board. I'm in the mood for pie, and I've got text on it, and I think it looks halfway decent. In fact, I would sit down and eat any of those pies at all. Here's a couple of other things you should do to wrap it up. On the top left-hand side, you'll see this post, SP post, Spark post, projects, my post. Well, this is where you can name it. So I'm going to call this pie collage, or maybe you know what, I'll change that to say pie mood board. There we go. Press enter there. All right, so I gave it a name. It's a good idea to give things a name. You should do that. Okay. Now, if it's time to turn it in, what do you do? Well, okay, so over here on the right-hand side, top right, there's a download button, and you could any of these, when we're doing the collage, any of these are going to be fine. PNG, JPEG, PDF. It doesn't really matter to me what you turn in. You can turn in a PNG, a JPEG, a PDF. It doesn't, pick what you want. Doesn't matter. If you got a favorite, go for it. I'm just going to leave this on PNG. It's okay with me. And I'm going to hit start download. All right. And that just got downloaded. Now, again, if you're working on your Chromebook, that's going to download right onto your Google Drive. That's where it's going to be. If you're thinking, well, where is it so I can turn it in? It's going to be on your Google Drive if you're working with your Chromebook. Mine is not. I'm not working on a Chromebook. So if I went and looked at my downloads folder, which is where things get downloaded, you'll see right there's my Pi mood board. So I would be able to now turn that in on Google Classroom. That would be my work of the day. I have made a mood board using Adobe Spark It has at least 4 pictures. It has text. And boy, I think it looks good. All right, it is your turn. Let's give that a shot. You can certainly email me with any questions. Get a hold of me if you run into trouble. Off you go.